Travis. Hi, everybody. So I'm a doctor that works in an ER. Does anybody know what an ER is?
Emergency room.
Yeah.
Hospital.
Why do you think it's a rule that we have helmets at this camp? So that you don't bonk your head that hard.
Or that it doesn't hurt as much.
And it doesn't hurt as much. And is it Jackie? Yeah. Jackie.
To stay safe. To stay safe.
To stay safe, okay. And Celine?
Don't, and for it to not crack your head open.
To not crack your head open. I actually like that. Well, I mean, I don't like it because that means a lot of pain and a lot of bad stuff can happen to a person. So what do the helmets do? Protect you. Keep the brain, the head from being cracked open, right? And it protects your brain. Yes, exactly, exactly.
So instead of when you fall, you don't crack your head open, you may crack your helmet, but not your head.
Yes, yes, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
So the idea is to crack this and not your head. Who from the back row wants to see if they can break this? Micah. Did I get your name right? Come on down.
He's gonna try and break that. Break it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop it. Who thinks that broke? Okay. If I go up here and I drop it, who thinks that broke? Okay. Try to break it. Yeah, you can hit it. You can. Don't throw it. You can hit it. I just don't want it to go flying off. Okay. Okay. So it popped out, but it didn't break, right? One of the things about helmets is they're actually designed to break. That was I think Lily said that. So the idea of it is this is meant to break. So as we're showing, it takes a lot to break it, right? Nope.
That's so loud.
Nope. Oh, nope. Now we got a crack. Okay. So what do you do when you have a cracked helmet?
Buy a new helmet. Buy a new one.
Buy a new one, yes. Go to mom and dad and say, hey, my helmet's cracked. How much would that hurt if I took anyone's head and hit you on the concrete like that? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that would hurt a lot, right? Does anybody know what a brain does? What does a brain do?
It keeps you alive.
Is it Sawyer? Sorry, tell me what does the brain do? Thinking, yes, thinking's a big deal. Julian?
Controlling your body.
Controlling your body. Okay, those are two really good ones. What is the brain made up of?
Brains.
Brains, yes. It's an organ, yes. And Viola?
Fat.
Actually, there is fat in there, yes.
Yellow.
Sorry, Abe?
Yellow. Cells.
Cells. What kind of cells?
Brain cells. I said
What are the brain cells?
I have 2 of them.
You have 2 of them. Yeah, 2 of them. All right, what are brain cells made up of? There are blood cells there, yep.
Minerals.
Well, now we're getting way too small. How about blood vessels, nerves, and neurons, right? The things that help us move and control our body and think, right? So how delicate do you think the brain is? Very delicate, yeah. That's why we have it covered in a little bit of fat. It has skull around it. It has some other fluid and shock absorbers inside of it. So what do you think would happen? So what's the other part about the brain? It's basically like a big electronic, right? It's a machine, right? So what if you were to crack or break your cell phone?
It would break.
It would not. It would not work. It might explode. Yes, Viola. You can crack the case.
Yeah, the case.
Is it going to work all that well if you drop it? Cracking the case, the screen doesn't work well, but it might turn on. You might be able to use it for calling mom and dad, but you might not be able to access your email or anything. So it might not work at all. It might be totally broke, or it might be broken just a little bit, but not normal, right? So our brains are like that. So what's the worst thing that can happen to your brain and that can happen to you? Jackie? It can fall out in ways, yes, exactly. That's actually not that, yeah, it actually can. Julian?
It could be damaged
It can be damaged, yes. Ben, you had your hand up? Oh, yeah.
You could have brain damage and your brain could die.
Brain damage and your brains can start to die. So there's a lot to that. And I want to focus on that because as we're talking about, we can go from, ow, I just hit my head, to, ow, I've got a headache because I hit my head, to, I'm not thinking really clearly, things are really blurry, I don't remember what happened, to, you're unconscious and asleep. You're alive, but your brain isn't really working well. And then there's the other part. There's the part where a person dies, right? So these are the important parts of having helmets. Is they're designed to take a lot of that injury. Who thinks that they're so good at skateboarding that they're never going to crash again? Eli. Eli thinks he's that good already. Awesome.
Okay, let's see that, Eli. Let's see that.
Who thinks they're so good at skateboarding that any level of distraction won't bother their flow? As you're skateboarding, you're about to do what's a really difficult trick here in the park?
Ollie.
An ollie's tough for some. Yep. Yes, Hallie or Haley.
Impossible. Oh yeah. The dropper on the monster.
A drop in on the monster. Abe, what's a really difficult trick here? A board slide. Okay, what happens if you're lining up, you're really rolling into that board slide? And someone launches a bunch of fireworks nearby.
You're gonna probably
Okay.
fall off your skateboard.
Yeah! So even if you're the best skateboarder, you can still get a little distracted. And distraction can lead to falls, wrecks, injuries, all those type of things. Even the best skateboarders in the world fall because they're pushing the limits, right? They're really working on new tricks. They're doing really big air, all that kind of stuff, right? So when that happens, they can still get injured. You know, and this goes even when you're doing freestyle in the streets. And you know, what else is going on in the streets? Cars.
You can die over a car.
Yep, cars.
You can launch your skateboard.
Jackie? How about pedestrians, bicyclists, lamp posts,
Cars. Benches.
all these things, benches, yeah. So all these things we can have an injury from in our skateboarding. So really the idea is about the injury can happen anytime, anywhere, even though you're just cruising along on your way home. All right? And you have an injury, you hit your head, you have a bit of a headache. Let's say you go home and you still have a headache. You start really getting confused. Have you told anyone?
No.
Why not?
Because you don't want them to know.
You don't want them to know, embarrassed. Yeah.
Why would I
So why is it important to let someone know, let a parent know that you hit your head? Ethan.
If you don't get like treatment, treatment soon, then you could bad stuff can happen.
Right, bad stuff can happen if you don't get treatment soon. So sometimes there's that time, right, where it is just a whacked your head and no problem, whacked your head and headache, whacked your head, headache, and just not feeling well, confused, forgetting things. And if you haven't told someone, someone's not watching you as close. And maybe you go to bed and you don't wake up. And die. And these are all sad things, right? So I don't say all this to be a downer or bring everybody down. I really just want you to be safe. Who else wants you to be safe? Who else?
Everyone.
Jackson? Everyone wants you safe. Who is everyone?
Me. Everyone. Everyone is me.
The staff? How about parents?
Me.
Everyone. I like that you keep saying everyone. How about your dog? Does your dog want you to be okay? How about your cats? Your hamsters, rabbits? Everybody wants you. Everyone wants you well, and so do I. Because, you know, as much as I love to see you all here, I don't want to see you in my emergency department. I really don't, because I want you safe. I want you healthy. and I want you to be awesome skateboarders because you came to this camp.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.